Okay, we are we're here again. Amit, welcome to the 12-hour podcast.
Welcome, Adam, to 12 Hour Podcast and happy Twitch Day.
Happy Twitch Day, is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm trying to make a pun of Tuesday and Twitch because I guess we are live on Twitch as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I guess then every single time we record, well, yeah, pretty much every single time we record it will always be Twitch Day.
Yeah. And last Twitch Day, we even had a guest
Yeah, isn't
for the
that
first time.
nice? Isn't that nice? You think our guest is going to come back?
Mm, did we mention our regular timings?
I think we did, but I also wouldn't blame our previous guest if they never came back.
Totally understandable. And
I'm
totally understandable if they bring along 100 people. Like, they might have thought this is super cool and this should be watched by 100 people.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
Although, if 100 people are watching, we should remind them that we are doing this podcast just randomly to talk about random stuff, and we are not hoping for any subscribers, views, comments. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I would go as far as to say that not only are we not hoping for that, we're actually advocating for all of you YouTubers out there and anybody who is not even a YouTuber, like that being somebody who watches YouTube videos, to not watch this. We are trying to express our our intent to make sure that you do not watch this because, well, why would you want to do that? Why do you want to watch like two random people talk about things that are completely not interesting? And also the main goal for this channel is to make sure that we set ourselves apart from all the other channels out there on YouTube, which tell you to subscribe, tell you to like and comment on their channel, on their videos, to help the algorithm, to help make sure that their channel is more known. We don't want you to do any of that. In fact, don't hang out anymore. Go do something else. There are basically anything else that you could possibly do with your life is going to be better than this. So, why are you still here? Get out of here. Bye.
Yeah. And tell everyone you know. If you come across this channel, move away.
Yeah, tell everybody you know about this channel. Tell them to come over here so we can make sure it's really clear to all of them to also not be here.
Yeah. And you're free to comment anything that you want, but also at the same time, we discourage it.
Yes, exactly. Very well said. And if you're confused, we are as well, because we don't know why you're here. So, with that being said, Amit, let's let's get into some random topics. Tell me what's been going on with you. Has there been anything on your mind? Anything kind of, you know, going through your head? Something of interest?
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? Do you have few things that
Um,
you?
I learned the difference between spinning and indoor cycling.
What's that? Spinning and indoor cycling?
Yeah, indoor cycling. You know when you go to a gym and they have the exercise bikes?
Yeah.
So some people would refer to going on the exercise bike um, as spinning, and some people would just call it indoor cycling.
Oh, I've never heard spinning as an exercise.
Yeah, like you've never heard of a spin class?
Never, never.
Yeah. So I didn't know this, but there's a lot of times people use them interchangeably, but there is a difference. Now, if you ask me what the difference is, I read through it so quickly I don't even remember. But I know there is a difference.
Okay.
I know there's a difference.
What
And
I'm guessing is a spin class is a dance class,
no,
like tango.
no. So again, so it both of them have to do with using an exercise bike. Yeah, you would think so. A spin class sounds like it would have something to do with dancing. That's what I thought. But supposedly, if you say that you went to the gym and you were spinning, then you were, again, there's a difference. We're going to look into this so I can remember and so I can explain to you what the difference is, because you're so interested. You're so interested in something like this, right? You definitely want to know. This is something that's been on your mind for sure so many times, and you're so glad that I brought it up now, and you're hoping that someday, throughout all the discussions we've ever had, each time we had a discussion, you're like been waiting for, like, when is Adam going to be bringing up the difference between spinning and indoor cycling? And thank goodness I did it for you. So you're welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
And probably the title today is going to start with the spin class, and people looking it up, they're going to land here.
Yeah, I'm literally writing it down right now. I'm writing down spinning versus indoor cycling. Yeah.
Now that you mention it, I can think of few instances where I've heard this term phrase, spin class. I think I've heard it in US TV shows somewhere.
Okay.
Spin
So,
class.
yeah, I mean, as far as I know, I'm kind of guessing here, because the reason why this came up is because I was talking to a friend and they were saying that over the weekend they went spinning. So I asked them, like, what's spinning? And they said, well, it's like indoor cycling. So I'm like, is there a difference between the two things? Like, why are you referring it to one thing versus another? And then I looked it up. And then also, now kind of assuming that saying that you're involved in a spin class or saying you were spinning, it's like, maybe the difference is that it's a class versus just doing it on your own. Kind of assuming that, so I could be wrong. Maybe a spin class is actually a dance class of some sort. So we're going to look up all these things. We got to find out, because here on the 12-Hour Podcast, we're extremely factual, and we never want to mislead the 0 people that watch this. And we want to make sure that we are providing, we're trying to be a source of truth here on the 12-Hour Podcast.
And we are making the right use of AI the way it was supposed to be used.
Yeah, to only tell us that things are true. Oh, and I have, by the way, speaking of which, I have something else that I want to share with you that I learned about, something that you can do with AI that's kind of fun. But we'll do it later. So for now, let's go to our handy dandy and trusted friend, Shmat Shmeeby Shmee, and ask it what the difference is. What is the difference between spinning and indoor cycling?
And we can also mention spin class, so
Yeah.
it can give all the answers at once.
Well, I was going to do this first and then do spin class afterwards, if that's okay with you. Are you okay with that? Or are you going to be upset with me?
Oh, I'm going to be very upset.
Well, you'll have to get over it. So, here we go. So spinning and indoor cycling are terms often used interchangeably, but there are some distinctions between the two, particularly when it comes to branding, style, and sometimes the equipment used. Here's a breakdown of the differences. Spinning is a trademarked term. It's a trademarked brand owned by Mad Dog Athletics. Classes that are often labeled as spinning are typically associated with this brand and its certified instructors. Oh, okay, gotcha. Bike design. Spinning bikes are specific to the brand and may have unique features or design elements. Before I read on, now I want to look up what a spinning bike looks like. Spinning bike. Let's see. Okay, I mean, it looks like an exercise bike, so I don't know. there's different types of. Oh, this is an air bike. But there's like, you ever seen the Peloton bikes? That's what's being brought up. The Peloton
Can you
bike.
pull up the image?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've ever seen those Peloton bikes, but I'm not sure if that's what is like, if that's the type of bike that's used, or if that's a spinning bike. But home spinner bikes, spinning. Yeah, it just looks like an exercise bike. I don't know. What's the difference? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so let's keep going here. So class structure. Spinning classes often follow a structured format developed by the spinning brand, which may include specific types of rides like endurance, interval strength, and recovery rides, and teaching techniques. Instructors for spin classes are typically certified through the spinning program, ensuring a standardized approach to teaching. Okay, fair enough. Indoor cycling is a broader term that encompasses all types of stationary bike exercise classes that take place indoors. Of course, it makes sense. This includes spinning, but also other brands and styles of indoor cycling. So indoor cycling classes can vary widely in their structure and style depending on the instructor and the gym or studio. They may incorporate elements like music. Okay, so indoor cycling classes sound like they are like broadly like include all kinds of different classes that include indoor cycling. But spinning is like one particular type of indoor cycling class. That's what I'm getting from this.
So I'm guessing it maybe incorporates different motions along with cycling, some extra exercises.
Yeah. And maybe indoor cycling, because we're also saying here that here's like, it's really summarizing it here. So spinning is trademark, structure classes, specific equipment, standardized instructor certification. Indoor cycling is a general term, diverse class formats, various equipment brands, multiple certification options. So it sounds like, again, indoor cycling is a broad term, and spinning is like one form of indoor cycling. Yeah.
And it requires certification. Now, that's interesting because, I mean, indoor cycling, isn't it just put your feet on the pedals and just start circling?
Well, I mean, I guess if there's a structure to it, then maybe like you're doing it, like you're doing specific resistance training, maybe like where there's like your what's the word? You're kind of emulating different types of resistance that you would encounter if you're riding your bike in real life, in a real life environment where like you're going uphill, there's going to be more resistance than going downhill, let's say, or on an even sort of surface. So maybe like you have to do that within like specific intervals. There's different sort of resistances. I don't know. I'm just sort of guessing that's probably.
Now imagine, I mean, when you mentioned that you have to emulate a rough terrain,
Yeah, maybe it's.
my mind was
that too.
Yeah, my mind was imagining a projector screen. But there could be a projector which could be showing the recording of a cycle moving on a terrain, like a first person view. And the whole class is looking at that projector view and cycling accordingly, imagining that they are actually cycling on a rough terrain.
Right.
That could induce, those feelings of bumpy rides and resistance. Who knows? That could be a good addition if it is not already.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking up here spinning and spin classes. So these are terms that often are used interchangeably, but they essentially refer to the same concept. Here's a bit more detail. So we already went through spinning. Spin classes, though, often used generically to refer to indoor cycling classes, but technically it should refer to classes offered under the spinning trademark. Okay, so it's basically the same thing, a spin class and spinning. Same thing. So there you go. Question answered. Okay, are you good now? Like, are you relieved? Because I know there's a lot of turmoil within you that was getting a little stressed out for the fact that you didn't really have the answer to this question. So now I did that for you. And are you like,
Yeah.
are you like, once we end today's podcast, you're going to be able to go on with the rest of your day, and you're going to be able to actually enjoy the day, and you're not going to get all distracted by these differences and what all this stuff is?
Not just my day, my life just became better.
Amazing. I'm really, you know what? It brings me a lot of fulfillment to know that I was able to do this for you.
Thank you so much. And I think everyone not watching this will also be grateful for this particular podcast.
Yeah, all the 0 people watching. By the way, nobody watched. Nobody watched the video.
One.
Yeah, nobody. Which again, I'm not surprised. And then 2 people watched the last one, the one before.
So our return rate is definitely 0, which is a good thing.
Okay, so something that I wanted to share with you. I'm opening up Shmat Shmeeby Shmee on my phone. And there's this thing I did the other day. And we'll see what you think about it. I saw this on on a YouTube short, and I was like, there's no way this is real. But it is. At least it was the last time I did it. But let's find out. I'm not sure if you know about this. Do you know about the strawberry thing?
What about it?
Like with ChatGPT, do you know about the strawberry thing? Spelling strawberries? There's strawberry. Do you know about this? No? Okay, you don't. You seem confused. Here we go. I'm going to pull it up on. I'm going to have a discussion with ChatGPT, so you can. It's just a little bit more interactive. So here we go. How many R's are there in the word strawberry?
The word strawberry contains 2 R's. The first R is in the middle of the word after the T, and the second R is near the end, right before the Y. So it's spelled S-T-R-A-B-E-R-Y.
You spelt strawberry correctly with 3 R's, but you're telling me that there's only 2 R's in the word.
You're correct that the word strawberry is spelled with 3 R's, S-T-R-A-W-B-E-R-R-Y. I apologize for the earlier confusion. There are indeed 3 R's in the word.
This must have recently gotten fixed.
No, but it only fixed after you mentioned it.
No, but here's the thing. So unless somehow I figured out a way to prompt it the right way, because I did that with ChatGPT like just a few days ago, and it was like a whole back and forth for a while, and it would kept saying to me, "There's only 2 R's," and then I'd say, "But there's an R here, and there's an R here, and an R here," and I would like explain how there's 3 R's, and it would say, "Nope, there's 2 R's," and it would spell it correctly, but it would tell me there's 2 R's.
We can run another experiment and see. We can use some word that is often, misspelled. Something like marvelous. Marvelous has how many L's? Some people use 1 and some people use 2. So we
I
can
think
ask
there's only
ChatGPT.
1 L in marvelous.
Yeah, but often people use 2 L over there.
I think it would be fine with that, because that is like, well, we'll check it, but I would imagine it would go well. But the point I'm trying to make, and we'll check it anyways, but the point I'm trying to make is that this must have been corrected recently, because it wasn't doing this. I don't know how far back I can go, like how easy it will be for me to find where I had this whole conversation with ChatGPT like for like 10 minutes, where I was going back and forth, and it just refused to say that there were actually 3 R's in strawberry. It just, like, no matter what I did, no matter how I prompted it, no matter how I tried to explain it, it just was insisting that there were 2 R's in strawberry. So this is actually quite interesting that it didn't make that mistake this
Yeah,
time.
actually, ChatGPT is a continuously learning model.
Yeah.
So whenever it makes a mistake and somebody puts a thumb down, the programmers, they know that this is something they have to work on. So they are constantly upgrading the ChatGPT on a daily basis. So based on the downvotes and based on our responses, I hope you know that they can read our chats. It's not that it's completely private or secure. The programmers can look into our chats, see what chats went well, what chats went wrong, what new information can be added to the database. All these things are actually part of AI now, our private information.
Yeah. I I had this whole discussion with, because I was away for the weekend, I was visiting family, and I was having the same discussion about the strawberry thing with my cousin. So I just sent him the message to show him that it looks like the issue got corrected, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna upgrade every day or at least every week. I'm pretty sure of that.
All right, so
But
well,
ChatGPT is still very bad at math. In math, I've tried many times to, you know, ask mathematical questions, and it's very bad at calculations.
is that right? What kind of calculations?
So, for example, you give it a list and you ask ChatGPT to sum it or average it. More often than not, it will make some kind of mistake.
Does it understand to use, like, did you ever learn BEDMAS?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So does it understand how to use BEDMAS in order to, like, if you give it a whole series of calculations, to understand which calculations to prioritize first?
I think if we give it an equation in one line, it's probably gonna calculate it right. But I'm talking about a list. If I give it a proper array, a long list, then it's definitely gonna, you know, mess up something.
But it'll probably improve over time, anyways.
Yeah, definitely. It will keep on learning because I have many times downvoted that wrong answer. So definitely it will. The programmers would be working on it.
Okay. So tell me, what's been on your mind? What's been going on with you?
In the last week. Okay.
And by the way, I like the color of your shirt.
What do you call it?
Baby blue.
Baby blue. Interesting.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed. Like I would have just called it sky blue or light blue. That's it.
Yeah, baby blue.
Baby blue.
Because it's the type of blue that you would, like, I don't know about there, but here you would, that's a very common blue to use for babies. For whatever reason.
Yeah. I can see that there are gift packages for babies, and they include this color for boys, and there is baby pink for girls. Mostly these are the two most common colors, right? Baby blue and baby pink.
Yeah. Okay, so you were going to say something. You're going to tell me about what's been going on with you.
Yeah, I was thinking about at least three times. Something came to mind that I thought I would discuss this on the podcast. One was about last weekend when I went out with friends. It was we sat at one place,
Okay.
and it turned out to be very expensive.
What did you do?
So we asked them to cancel our order, but they said it's already in the process and we cannot do that. So we thought, okay, we won't order the second round. We'll just have one drink. We'll have whatever we have ordered, and we'll just get up and leave after that.
Okay.
So that's what we did. But what I realized after that was that one drink was enough.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So usually, when we are gathered around, I usually have three drinks or four drinks. That is my usual. But this time, after a very long time, and for the first time, I guess, I realized that just one drink is enough.
Okay.
We don't really have to go on with the second or third drink.
Okay.
So, for, so I've kind of committed myself to limiting myself to one drink from now on,
Why?
whenever there is a social day. Because one is enough. We don't really have to, you know, have more just because the standard quota is 180 ml. The standard packaging of a drink is 180 ml.
Okay.
It's called a quart, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so usually we wait until we finish that quart, and if it's a party, then we are drinking more than that also. But it made me realize it doesn't make any sense to really finish that standard amount.
Okay. Okay.
So that's one thing that I realize, and from now on, if ever I drink, I'm just gonna stick to one drink.
Okay. So you're saying it was very expensive.
So yeah, it was expensive, but the drinks weren't expensive. Drinks were on the MRP,
Okay.
so I could have had more drinks, but the food was very expensive,
Okay.
so we decided to discontinue that.
Did you each pay for your own bill, or did somebody pay for everybody?
So we always share.
Okay. So you had one bill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many people were there? 4, you said?
Four,
Including you.
yes.
Hmm. And you each had one meal?
Mm-hmm.
No appetizers?
We just had one appetizer.
Okay, so one appetizer, one meal each, and one drink each, right?
Not meal. Actually, we got out before ordering the meal. We just had one appetizer. That's it. One appetizer and one drink.
For the... Okay, I'm confused now. So you had one appetizer for the table.
Yes.
All 4 people shared the one appetizer.
Yes.
And you each had one drink. Like you had one drink, and all 3 of your friends each had one drink. So there are 4 drinks
Yes.
altogether, one appetizer, and there was... Everybody did have a meal each, or no?
No, we didn't have meal.
Oh, no meals.
No meal.
Okay, so only the one appetizer and only the 4 drinks. And that's it.
Yes.
And how much was how much was the bill?
How much was the bill? Of course, compared to Canada, it might seem very cheap, but let me.
Well, we're gonna see because I'm gonna do the exchange. How come I
So
can't
it's,
find? I had your. I actually added your currency exchange in here. Hold on. Let's see. Favorite. No. Favorite units. Okay, here we go. So what is... It's rupees, right? Let's see. Let's find it. Rupees. What do I look under? Should be just...
INR.
INR. That's what it is. Okay, INR. Here we go. Indian rupee. That makes more sense. So that's good. Save. Now it shows up. Okay, so tell me how many Indian rupees it was.
2,000.
2,000. Oh, that's nothing. It's like $33. Did you leave a tip?
Yeah, I think 2,000 was rounded off, so it included the tip.
Okay. How much of a tip do you leave? How much percentage? If the bill is whatever amount, how much of a percentage of that bill do you leave as a tip?
I'm guessing 5%.
5%?
It's
That's not enough.
it's not a standardized rule here to leave a tip. Actually, it's
Okay.
completely optional.
Oh, really? Do,
So
do you know what the amount
you
is
can
here
even,
that people tend to leave?
yeah, I guess it starts with 7%, and then you can go up to 20%.
So it's pretty standard here. Bare minimum, bare minimum. Like if they just do their job, 15%. If you're gonna leave
I see.
7%, that's like insulting. It's insulting. Like the waiter would think that they did something wrong, and they'd be quite upset if they did their job well. So 15% is bare minimum. Typically, people leave. The majority of people leave 20%. If they do a really good job, you leave 25-30%.
It's,
There have been times where I've left like 100% tip. The bill's $50. I pay the bill and I leave an additional $50 for the waiter.
awesome. So, like, Indians, Indians have a very different concept of the tip. So I'm pretty sure every Indian can relate to this. If they go to the Western countries, they find that this tip culture is pretty heavy on the pocket somehow.
Well, there's a
Because we
reason.
are used to living less than 5%.
Yeah, there's a
Less than, and 5% is actually generous value.
right. There's a reason for that here. So I'm not sure what it works like, how it works there, but here there's something called tip out. Okay, tip
That's
out. So tip out is if you're serving or you're a bartender or something, you have to take a portion of your sales. So whatever you sold for the day, you get like at the end of your shift, you'll get like a thing that prints out that tells you how much you sold. And then you have to take, let's say, 10% of your sales. Maybe it's a little bit less, but whatever, a percentage of your sales. And you have to give it to the manager. And then he will take all of that. He'll put it into like a big, what's called a pool. So take all that money from all the servers and all the bartenders, put it into a pool. And from that, he'll take a portion of it and he'll give it to the kitchen. He'll like all the staff in the kitchen, to the people that are bussing tables, to the hostess and host, like all different people. So they all kind of share their tips. So if you pay, let's say the tip out is, I don't know, let's say it's 5%, and you only tip 5%, that means they made nothing off of your table. If you give 0%, now they had to pay money for you to be there to serve you. See what I'm saying?
So basically, you have to, as a waiter, you have to pay to the hotel.
You pay the manager of, like, let's say you're serving in a restaurant or a bar or wherever. You have to take a portion of your sales and give it to the manager of the restaurant, whoever is managing that shift for the day, and they'll take all that money, and then however much it is at the end of the day, and then he'll give a portion of it. He'll divide it up so that some people that were working in the kitchen during that shift, some people that were bussing and cleaning tables, all the other staff that wouldn't be able to get tips, that they get a portion of that amount that was tipped out and given to the manager. That's what they should do. Some restaurants are really not nice. The manager will put it in his pocket and never give it to anybody, which is really not nice. But it happens. I don't know what it's like there, but this is common here. This happens a lot. So again, like if you give nothing, then now they had to pay for you to be there. They had to take money out of their other tips that they got from other tables. And they have to, take it out of, like it costs the money basically to serve you.
Let me understand this. So they are getting the tips, and on top of that, they are getting 10% from the sales. Am I correct?
No.
No.
So let's say it costs $30 your bill, right? You pay $30. That money goes to the restaurant, obviously, right? Okay. Then let's say you give $0 on top of that for a tip. You decide, I'm not going to tip. So I'm giving $0. I'm only paying the bill and that's it. Okay. So now, out of the $30, let's say the tip out is, I don't know, 5%. So 5% of $30 is what, $1.50?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So now you tip $0. They have to take $1.50 out of their pocket and give it to the manager. Either way, it doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter how much you tip. You could tip $50. They still have to take $1.50 out of the $50 and give to the manager if the bill was $30. You understand?
The waiter has to give it. Okay.
And then that $1.50 is then divided up between the kitchen staff and the host and the hostess and the bar and the people that are cleaning the tables. Maybe a little bit has to go to the bartender because the bartender helped to make drinks for that table. You see?
Mhm.
So if you give nothing, it now costs them money for you to be there. If you give them $1.50, now they make $0. If you gave them $3, now they made $1.50 from you. Because either way, they have to pay out the $1.50. They don't have a choice.
Yeah, if we consider that scenario, then of course it's a loss for them. But that's not the scenario over here. The payout system is not really what goes on here.
Right.
They have a fixed salary, and plus they get the tips, and it's up to the waiter how much they want to share with the cooks and the other people.
Right.
So yeah, that's basically the long and small of it here.
Right. Right.
It's not as complicated as the payout system, because that would require a lot of calculation. And from what we see here is whatever the working class people here want is they they're actually happy or content with a fixed amount,
Right.
because once they get into the percentage system or a fraction system, it's hard for them to calculate, first of all, and secondly, there it comes along with some kind of discontent. Always the number fluctuates, and it can actually spoil your mood, to say
Right.
the least.
Sure. 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 Yeah.
So this is what I've observed. Every place I go, they really want a fixed sum, and
Right.
once they get it, they're happy enough.
Right. But this is like still um, this is like very inexpensive. $32
Yeah.
for that is pretty inexpensive. Like here, I would say easily one drink could be $30.
What? Just one drink?
Yeah, like I mean, maybe it's one of my drinks because I tend to drink things that are a little more expensive.
So
But maybe
you
two
are talking
drinks.
about
Maybe
a fancy cocktail.
yeah, maybe two drinks. Two drinks. Like having a drink here that's $15 is very normal.
Yeah. So we are not talking about the cocktails. We are just talking about a regular, rum,
Yep,
peg of rum.
yep, yep, yep. If you're gonna have
Nothing
like a
fancy,
yeah,
a
if
cheap one.
yeah, it depends where you go. It depends where you go. There's some places you can go where it's maybe, $5 or $6 for a shot. So it would be very similar the price.
Mm, yeah.
But that's on the low end. That's very inexpensive. That's pretty expensive. I would say $7, $8 for a shot is pretty
Average.
normal. And I think a lot of places too, if you go to a place that's a more casual, upscale casual dining, like $10 a shot is not uncommon at all. I went to a soccer game here and I bought 2 beers. It was $40 for 2 beers. $20 a beer.
Yeah, I can understand that because the moment we get into the airport here, the prices skyrocket of the same thing. So I'm imagining whatever the airport rate is, that is, that is the usual rate over there. That is what I'm comparing in my mind. So
I mean-
airport is the most expensive place in
Yeah.
around me that I can go and have a dinner or drinks at.
Yeah, here if I go to an airport, it's maybe a little bit more expensive. Maybe a bit more expensive, but it's not dramatically more expensive.
Yeah, so that's the difference here. If you go to a local place, you will get it basically like above the MRP or 1.5 times the MRP.
Yeah.
And when you go to a very expensive place like airport, you can get 10 times the MRP. I don't know,
Right.
approx.
Right. Like, let's do this. I'm gonna do a little bit of a share screen, and let's see. I want to go. We're gonna go to a website for a common restaurant here, and we're gonna look at some of the prices to give you an idea of what we're talking about. So you can see the screen.
Mhm.
So let's go to, there's this bar here and restaurant called Montana's. So let's go to there. And let's go to the menu. Barbecue menu. Maybe. Okay, food menu, bar menu. Let's go to the bar menu. Let's see if it shows the prices. I wonder if it will. Look. No, it's
Starting
not.
at 490
Where does it say?
at the top. Starting at 490.
Oh, yeah. Starting at $4.99. Yeah, so that's like the least expensive drinks are $5. But I don't know if it will
That
show
would be a
any.
tequila.
Yeah, I don't know if it will show any prices here. Actually, maybe it won't because it probably depends on region. Yeah, you're probably not going to see the prices here. Yeah, I guess not. I was kind of hoping they would show the prices, but I guess you're not going to because Montana's is a big chain restaurant. So because it's a big chain, they might change the prices depending on where you are in the country.
So, if you remember, I said I live far away from Mumbai,
Mm-hmm.
2 hours away. And if I go to a place in Mumbai and have the same order, it might be, I guess, a little more expensive.
Right,
So it would be like $40 or 40 plus,
right.
because Mumbai is the famous places of Mumbai. They are kind of expensive.
Yeah. So, but you're saying that like the price of that evening was like, okay, what would be a standard price? If you were to go for 4 drinks and an appetizer, what would be a typical amount that you would expect to pay?
To be honest, this amount is usually what we pay for
Okay.
meals included.
Ah, for meals included. So if you each had a meal.
Yeah, not this different meal, but we order the same meal and we share it by 4.
Oh,
Sometimes it's something like roti sabzi. It's
okay. So
biryani.
you're saying then like that would be the price that would be included if you would get the 1 appetizers, 4 drinks, and 1 meal to share between the 4 of you.
It won't be just one item of meal. Let's say 2 meals. Yeah.
Okay, so 1 appetizer, 2 meals, and 4 drinks. Okay, yeah, that's. I mean, it's still like that's an amazing price. That's an amazing price just for 4 drinks. Like just for two drinks here, that's pretty standard.
Yeah,
So it's already like half the
yeah, I can
price just by getting the 4 drinks in comparison.
I can imagine. And what would be the MRP price, like if you get a bottle from the store?
Oh, so if you're getting a bottle of wine from the store, I mean, it depends on what bottle of wine you're getting, of course, right? But if you're getting, or are you talking about a bottle of wine or like a bottle of liquor?
Bottle of whiskey, yeah.
Bottle of whiskey. So obviously it depends on the whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
We could actually probably look that up. Let's see if that will show up on the website. But there's some bottles of whiskey that will go for, let's say, like $30, and some that would be, a couple $100 easily.
So let's look up Jack Daniels because I feel that would be common.
Yeah, let's look that up. Let's see. So I'll share the screen again with you so that way you can see. Looking up, I don't know if it'll show up, but if the prices will show up, but we'll try. There's like where we typically buy our liquor here is somewhere called the LCBO. Stands for Liquor Control Board of Ontario. See? So let's see if it'll show prices. I bet it won't, but block. I don't want.
By the way, you can ask ChatGPT. It can show the prices.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I don't want to products. Let's just see here. Whiskey. I want to do it this way. Whiskey shop with Canadian whiskey. Let's go there. Or I wonder if it shows. Okay, here it shows. Okay, here's the price. Yeah, it does show prices. Okay, so Crown Royal whiskey. So I don't know if you've heard of this brand before, but this is a popular brand here. So $50.
I've had Crown Royal before, and I think it came free with Shivas. I bought it at
Oh yeah,
the
Chivas is good
airport.
stuff. Yeah, Chivas is really good
Yes, so
stuff. So these
there's a
are
big pack of Shivas if you buy, and you get Crown Royal for free.
okay. So this is just a Mickey. This is like just a little bottle of Crown Royal
Yeah,
for $5.
50.
50 milliliters, yeah. How many milliliters are there in a shot, in an ounce?
1 ounce is 30 ml, and
Okay.
if you're talking about one drink, that would be 1.5 ounce.
Well, yeah, it depends on the drink. Because some drinks here, at least, I don't know about there, but some drinks here are like 3 ounces, 2 ounces, 1.5. It depends on the drink. It depends what you ask for. But yeah, so this is a little bit over. This is almost 2 shots for $5. So which is obviously a better price than you're going to get if you're going to a bar. That's for sure. But let's go and look at. Here we go. Here is 375 milliliters. 375 is also a pretty small amount. Like that's not. How much is a 40? 40 shots. So you're saying, what was it again? It was a shot is 20?
A shot is
30
one,
milliliters, you're saying, right? 30?
yeah, 30 ml. Yeah,
Okay. So that
1 ounce.
that means that 120 milliliters would be 4 shots. So it'd be 1.2 liters would be 40 shots, would be a 40, 1.2 liters. Right? Does that make sense? 1.2
So if
liters?
you're looking at 375 ml, right? 375 ml
Yeah,
would be
that's
like 12.
still a small bottle. That's like 20 shots. 750 is, my math is bad, but
So that
still
would be 750 would be 25 shots.
25 shots. Yeah, so still a pretty small bottle. I wonder how big the bottle is that I usually get. I think 750 is pretty standard, though. Yeah, it's a standard bottle of liquor.
Yeah, 750 is standard.
So here you go. This is, I'm not sure if you ever had CC, Canadian Club. Canadian Club is also a pretty standard. Well, it's not really a whiskey, though. They call it whiskey, but it's not really whiskey. It's like rye. Canadian Club is like rye. It's not even whiskey, in my opinion. But let's see. Let's see. Jim Beam Black Cherry. Okay, Canadian Club, 100% rye. Yeah. Jim Beam, Crown Royal Whiskey. Okay, so 750 is $34. But I think it gives you a little bit of an idea of the prices. How much would it be there for 750 of Crown Royal?
Crown Royal. I've never bought Crown Royal, but I can tell you the price of Chivas.
Yeah, Chivas is more expensive for sure. The 12 or 18-year-old.
So I guess it would be around 4,000 if I'm guessing right.
Which is about $60. Which is about 65.
$65, yeah.
Yeah, $65. Let's look up Chivas Regal. Okay, here we go. 12-year-old, $125.
Yeah.
Okay, if you get the Scotch whiskey, it's pretty close to the same price. If you get the Scotch whiskey. Oops, what happened? Where'd it go? Did I just... Let's do this. Let's just press enter. So it brings us there. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, is it the 750 ml bottle?
750, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is 1.7. This is 1750 milliliters, so that's a lot more, yeah. Makes more sense.
Yeah,
It'd be a lot more
65 is
expensive.
about right. So we can say the MRP is same.
Wow, it's crazy how expensive. I used to buy 18-year-old Chivas for like $80.
And how much is it?
150. It's like double the price.
But it would be double the size also, right?
Nope, 750.
Okay. I'm not sure if I had 18 or 12 years. I don't remember that because it was a long time back. But by now it might have become 18 years old.
Yeah, pretty expensive. Well, yeah, I mean, you can get it 12 years old or 18 years old.
I'm guessing it was 12 because I don't remember exactly.
Yeah. Or I think you can get like 25 years old as well.
So what is the oldest liquor that you have?
Oh man, I have no idea. Not sure. 60 years old?
Oh, that's
Maybe
very-
longer. Maybe longer. I had, do you know what Cointreau is?
Say that again.
Cointreau. Have you ever heard of that? Cointreau?
Quench.
Yeah, Cointreu. Cointreau. Cointreau. It's like an. It's like an.
Sounds like a wine.
Have you ever heard? Do you know what Grand Marnier is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know what triple sec is? No. Okay. So these are all different types of orange liqueur. They're typically like if you're ordering a margarita, most likely you're getting triple sec or Cointreau in it. Maybe Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier is also something they'll put in like different coffees, like coffee drinks that have liqueur in them. Yeah. So Cointreau, I got a bottle of Cointreau from my sister-in-law, who she got it from her parents when they went to a trip to France when they were like, I don't know, like a long time ago. So, yeah. So I had that. That was pretty good.
So orange drink. So does it have that orange tangy flavor?
It's got like an orangey kind of flavor. I mean, you wouldn't really drink it by itself. You would mix it with something else. You'd mix it with, let's say, tequila, or maybe vodka, maybe rum. You'd mix it with some other liquor, And then you'd have it maybe with like a little bit of juice, like lime juice or maybe orange juice, even cranberry juice, things like that. Yeah.
And have you ever tried like different versions of the same liquor? Like one 10 years old, other 20 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I won't be able to tell the difference if I don't really drink that liquor very much. But if it's something like scotch and I drink that brand of scotch, then yeah, I'll be able to tell the difference. But otherwise, I wouldn't know. How about you? Like, do you think you'd be able to know the difference?
I think so because recently we bought a bottle and it was 12 years old, and usually what we drink is 7 years old.
Okay.
So the difference is 5 years, but taste wise or the texture wise, it wasn't too much different
Hmm.
when we tried. So it was, yeah, slightly different, but not too different.
It's hard to tell. I think unless you're tasting them side by side or you drink it a lot, then you would know the difference. Like, for instance, like I can tell the difference between different brands of tequila because I drink tequila quite a bit. So if I know what Patron tastes like versus, let's say, El Jimador, like there's definitely a difference in quality. But that's only because I drink a lot of tequila.
Yeah, makes sense. If you're drinking the same variety.
Yeah, then it's gonna be easy to know the difference for sure, and it's gonna be easy to know like whether or not it's a good tequila because you know what you're tasting for. But just somebody who doesn't really drink tequila, maybe they'll be able to tell a little bit of difference, but not too much. Maybe like it'll probably be more obvious between something like really like very low grade stuff versus high grade stuff. Like there will be a if they again taste it back to back, or if they're used to doing like people do tequila shots a lot, and they're used to having tequila shots, and you get the little thing in the shot glass, you drink it, and it burns the crap out of your throat, and it's awful, right? So that's like typically low grade, not good tequila at all. But if you then try like sipping tequila, like tequila that you would just sip, you put on the rocks, maybe a little bit of lime, maybe no lime, just on the rocks. It's like you don't get that burning sensation like you do when you have the shot. It's and there's a lot more flavor to it. So I think even somebody who doesn't really drink a lot of tequila would be able to notice a difference.
The sipping tequila is similar to vodka or gin.
If it's I mean, it depends. Like there's some gins that are like and vodkas that are not really meant for sipping. They're more meant for mixing because they're not like expensive expensive vodkas or gins or rums or whatever. But then there's some that are much better to sip because they have a lot more flavor to them. They're a lot higher quality. Yeah. So what else has been going on with you, man? What's been going? Like it's been a week. Like has there been anything interesting, anything different, anything exciting going on, or it's kind of just the same old?
No, definitely a few things here or there, but mostly the same. The other thing is, of course, music. As you know, I've been practicing it a bit.
Right. Okay.
And you had mentioned to practice the pitch, and I've been working on that. And after practicing something, I can feel the difference. Like I can know whether I'm on pitch or off pitch, if I'm lower or going higher. At least I can understand that now. Uh, I'm still not on the pitch, like when I start the song, and that's what I'm focusing on right now to get the beginning of the song right. If that gets right, the rest of the song can go, according to the flow.
Right. Okay.
So the starting of the pitch is always what I'm missing at, and sometimes it's lower or higher, and at least now I'm able to identify that. if
Okay.
I'm going higher or lower.
So if you heard a particular pitch, do you think you'd be able to match it very quickly?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Should we do a test?
Let's do it. An ear test. What's
Yeah.
it called?
Ear training test. Yeah? Okay, I'm going to get my guitar. Let's do it. Let's do an ear training test. So I'm going to pick a note on my guitar. And all you have to do is match that note with your voice. Okay, so can you hear that note?
It's. Can you make it louder? I can hear it very low.
Okay, cool. Not bad.
So what was that?
That's
What
a
would you
D.
call it?
That's a D.
G.
Yeah. Okay, how about this note?
I'm still, yeah, I can still identify the names.
That's okay. No. I would. That's yeah. I wouldn't. I can't do that. But just by ear. No, you'd have to have perfect pitch to be able to do that. Yeah.
Isn't that the goal though?
Perfect pitch is not something you can just develop. It's either you have it or you don't. It's like being colorblind or not being colorblind. It's like you can't, if you're colorblind, you can't just develop being able to see, like not being colorblind. You know what I mean? It's like you either have it or you don't. Yeah. It's not a skill, it's a sense.
So I shouldn't be putting time into identifying the exact note,
No.
just the matching part.
Yeah. Okay, how about this note? You ready?
Mhm. I can't read it. The mic is removing it as a noise.
How about now?
Can you play it a bit longer? No.
What note are you singing?
I think I'm not matching it.
That's okay. Sing your note. You're up here. That's the note you were singing. I'm playing this note.
Oh, it's higher. So.
There you go. You got it.
Okay.
Okay, not bad. Not bad. You ready for another?
Yeah, okay.
All right, here we go. How about this one? Okay. Have you ever, it's not bad, it's pretty good. Have you ever figured out what your range is?
I guess it's E2 to E4.
Okay.
That's what the pitch monitor shows. I mean, I can go lower, but it's not usually used in singing, I guess.
It could be. It depends on what you're singing. It could be. There's a lot of singers that sing very low. Very, very low.
So on some mornings when I wake up and try to check what the register is coming out or what the lowest voice is coming out,
Yeah.
I can go as low as C1 on some mornings.
Okay.
C1 is the lowest note that I've ever touched, but it has never come up in a singing or a song.
Okay.
So in songs, I've seen my voice go between E2 and E4.
Okay.
Sometimes it goes to G4, but I think that is also rare.
Okay.
In some songs it just touches G4 and comes back.
So if I got you to sing this note, could you do that?
Is it?
Do it again. Do your note. So you're singing this note.
Okay, can you play that previous one again?
Do it again. You're singing that note.
So what? Am I there?
Sing your note again. You're over here.
So
It's
that's
still lower than that. Now you're over here. You're getting there. You're getting there. There it is.
Okay. So what is it?
That's
is
an
it
E.
B2?
That's an E. That's an E.
That's E2.
That's E. I don't know if it's E2. I don't know 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I just know it's E. I could tell you. I could find out. I mean, I have an app that will tell me which E it is. Let's see here.
Because, I
So
thought E2 was much easier than this. This
so
one
that is E2. Yeah, that is E2. That's E2.
Yeah, it's easier to hit the note if I have that, pitch monitor in front of me, because that tells you where you are, so you can decide if you want to go higher or lower.
Okay, but it's good to be able to go like one note at a time.
Yeah, for practices.
Yeah, yeah. And how high can you go?
I think E4.
So could you play this? Can you sing this E? You're all the way up
That's
here.
not-
I'm down here. Okay, so that would be the next E. I guess E3, and E4 would be. It's a little flat, but you're kind of more over there. It's a little bit too high now.
Okay.
It's close. It's close. A little flat, but it's not bad. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of different techniques you can use to be able to sing much higher.
Yeah, I sometimes get into falsetto and all. So, yeah, it helps reaching the higher notes, but as I said, it doesn't come quite commonly in Hindi songs, at least.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
in,
Hindi
lots of Western work.
Yeah, Hindi songs don't use falsetto very much.
Yeah, they, as far as I see, they go highest up to G4.
Okay. So they use a lot of like head voice, I guess, when they sing. They don't really sing in chest voice. They're not singing so much with falsetto. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, falsetto will be present in some songs as a decoration, or maybe, but it's not always there.
It's kind of cool. So yeah, I would say like just keep doing a lot of ear training, as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm working with it. Yeah, I knew it would take like 2 weeks, but definitely it's much better than before. I can say that because I can feel that when I'm singing, I can tell myself if I'm on pitch or not.
Yeah, just practice
previously,
hearing.
I used to just start the song and I never cared about the pitch actually.
Right. Yeah, I would like if the app. I don't know if the app gives you like different pitches to try to match with your voice. If it'll like play a pitch, and it will tell you what pitch it's playing, and then you have to try to match it, and if it will tell you if you've actually reached that pitch or not.
Yeah, I can do that easily with my guitar. I can use the guitar and the pitch monitor app both, and I
Yep,
can
that works too.
see
Yep.
if I've matched the note.
Yeah, you put on your tuner and you have a chromatic tuner?
G strings. I've been using that.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's the app that I was just using now. Yeah. So, yeah, that's great. That'll is a chromatic. Do you know what a chromatic tuner is?
Not exactly.
So, chromatic refers to like all the different notes in order without skipping any notes. So, a chromatic tuner will be able to tell you if you're whatever note it's hearing, any note. Whereas some tuners, like if it's just a guitar tuner, it might only tell you specific notes that are in relation to what each string should be tuned to, and it won't tell you of any of the notes in between. It won't give you any of the notes in
Yeah.
between. Like on this
So that
tuner,
would be a standard tuner.
yeah. So that well, a standard tuner, I guess, would be a chromatic tuner. Like for instance, this one. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's like a little setting here that says C. So it's on the chromatic setting. If I change it, now it's on the next setting. Not sure if you can really see it, but there's a G there. So that's for guitars. And that'll only give you the notes, like only a few different notes. It'll give you basically 5 different notes that it's expecting to hear. And if you play any different note, it'll just tell you if you're too low or too high in relation to the note it believes you should be tuning towards. Because each string is supposed to be tuned to a specific note, right? And then the next thing does the same thing, but for bass guitars. So that's the next setting. And then the next one after that, you see it switches over. So that one's for violin. And then the next one's probably for ukulele. Yeah, that would be for ukulele. It's a U, so it's your ukulele. So I usually keep it on chromatic. And that will work for any instrument because it's going to tell you any note. You play any note and it will tell you exactly what note you're playing. Not what note it expects you to play based upon the fact that it's kind of tuning for that instrument. If that makes sense. If I'm explaining that well.
Yeah, I get it. It shows a wider bandwidth for the guitar tuner.
Yeah.
But for the chromatic one, it just skips it goes from one note to the immediate next tone,
Exactly.
which could be a middle tone as well. What
Yeah.
do we call it? The tone like C sharp. It comes
Those are
between C and D.
those are known as accidentals. Yeah, I'll show you every single semitone. That's right. Yeah, show you every single semitone. Whereas like a guitar, each string is supposed to be tuned to a specific note. So if let's say, like for instance, the notes are supposed to be starting from string 6, so your thickest string, E, A, D, G, B, and E. So if you go to play your G string, but it's really an F sharp, you go to play it, it won't tell you that it's the note F sharp. It'll show G because it's noticing that you're closest to that note. And so it's only going to show you that, oh, you're too low and you got to tune higher to get to G. And it's just going to keep showing you G and that you're too low. So it won't show you all the notes. Or if I select chromatic and I play the same note, it'll then show me that's actually an F sharp. Yeah. So that's how that works. So that's a chromatic tuner. And those are best, of course, for the voice. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Cool? Makes sense?
Yes.
All right, man. So that's it for this week. I'm going to go.
Yeah. I guess it would be 11 p.m. right there. But,
11:40. Yeah.
11:40.
11:40. So I'm going to go. Always a pleasure. Today I'm titling I'm entitling our podcast "Spinning versus Indoor Cycling, Expensive Drinks, and Ear Training."
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, man. All right.
Oh, what about the first one? Do you think spinning versus indoor cycling is it something commonly referred to, or spinning or spin class? What is it called usually?
I think spinning is pretty common because, I mean, that's what my friend referred to it as, spinning. And that's how I got into the whole discussion about it in the first place. Yeah.
So basically, it's the same thing.
Basically, it's the same thing. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
All
So
right, man.
I wish you a very good week ahead, and of course, a good night.
I appreciate it. Good night and good morning and good afternoon and good day to you. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Always fun, always enjoyable, and namaste.
Or what?
Bye.
Bye, all the viewers.
See
Happy
ya.
Twitch.